I'm Steve Lockard, Superintendent for Carroll County Public Schools, and this is Report Card on Education. I'm happy today to be joined by Laurie Brewer. Laurie is the Area Director and Finance Director for Carroll County Special Olympics. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Happy to have you here. I know that Carroll County Public Schools, our students, and our community benefit so much from the partnership that we have with Carroll County Special Olympics. And so I'm thrilled today to learn a little bit more, share with our listening audience some of those benefits of the Carroll County Special Olympics that we all enjoy here, and find out a little bit more about the activities and programs and how folks can get involved. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, Laurie, first, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role with Special Olympics? It sounds like you wear a couple of different hats. Tell us about those roles and how you became involved.
I do. I am the area director and the financial director. So years ago, I was the president of the athletic boosters at Winters Mill High School. And Special Olympics wanted to have spring games at Winters Mill and use the concession stand. And I said, yeah, sure, that will be fine. I'll help. I'll help you. And that's kind of how I got involved. So I did help with the food at their spring games. And then they said, oh, can you do it again? And so it just kind of skyrocketed. And a few years later, I became the financial director, and then a few years after that, I took on the role of area director.
So it sounds like you're staying busy in those roles for sure. Could you provide us a little bit of the background and history of Special Olympics here in Carroll County?
Well, I've been involved for 10 or 12 years. I think this is just an about, but I think we've been in Carroll County for 50 years. I think that's our anniversary coming up for spring games. And it started out as 3 sports and spring games. So we had skiing, swimming, and track. And now we have 15 sports that we offer, and we still do spring games, which is every year.
Right, and I know just from having visited the spring games this past year over at Westminster High School, it's just an incredible event with huge participation, a ton of volunteers, that's for sure, and a really rewarding experience by all of our student athletes who participate in the Special Olympics. So let's talk about that benefit. From your lens, how do you see Special Olympics benefiting our students and their families?
Well, I think for the athletes, it gives them a stage. They get all the attention and they get to do their sport. And they're very competitive. It surprised me when I first got involved how good they really are and how serious they really take their training and, wanting to do the best they can do. I think for the community, it's such a great community event. Everything that we have that day is donated to us. There's an excess of probably 1,200 people there. We provide lunch for everybody that's there, and all of that is donated from individuals, from companies, from Coca-Cola does some, the Carroll County Foods donates, Domino's donates. So we have all kinds of community support. And then for the high school students who are the fans, I just think, they keep coming back year after year. So, that kind of lets you know how important and how much they love that. It's just a really nice way they get to spend a day with an athlete one-on-one, and, they form a bond, and our athletes love it. So I think all the way around, and we have about 400 volunteers that day. It's just a really nice community event.
Absolutely. That event in the spring, like you talked about, and like I mentioned, having seen it firsthand, is truly a community event. And yeah. I've been a couple other places, and I can tell you nobody does it better than Carroll County as it relates to all of the different community groups and agencies and so forth coming together, getting behind a cause and supporting each other. And you mentioned right away our student athletes. Man, they do a fantastic job and take a lot of pride in what they do. And you're right, a lot of competitiveness there and a lot of fun.
Yes.
Just being able to participate and enjoy each other and enjoy the day and the camaraderie and the support is a great thing. So we're happy to be partners with you there.
And I think the one thing about our athletes, my kids played sports their whole life up through college. But when you watch these guys, they're competitive and they want to do the best they can do. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who wins. if they don't win, they're just glad that their friend next door beside them, they got to win.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference between our athletes and a lot of other athletes or other students, and that's what really makes me want to continue to do.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. At the end of the day, we have this great opportunity. Even just to participate is a fantastic thing, and I'm so glad that so many take advantage of that and have that opportunity to participate. Are there other programs besides the big spring event, the spring games? Are there other programs sponsored by Carroll County Special Olympics?
We have year-round sports, just like the high schools. So we have 3 seasons, a fall, a winter, and a spring. We have skiing and basketball, and then we have track and field, cheerleading, swimming. We have golf, kayaking. So they can participate in 1 sport a season. They can participate in 2 sports. It's available to them to do any of the sports that they want.
That's fantastic. Not too many people probably realize that there's that sort of year-round component that's available. So if I'm a parent or if I'm a student who's interested in participating in that, how do I find out about that? Where can I go to learn more information?
Well, you can go on our Facebook page. It's Carroll County Special Olympics. Everything is usually posted there. Our coaches and our sports are listed. It's www.socrathletes.org. It's not always updated because we're in the middle of revising our website, but the sports are listed there and the coaches, so they can go there. There's a drop-down box, and they can just contact the coach directly if they're interested in a sport, or they could call me or contact me, and my number and email is all over that website. So.
Okay, great. And I'm assuming if someone wants to get involved or volunteer, especially they could follow the same sort of path there in terms of being able to get a hold of Carroll County Special Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So we talked a little bit about the partnership that's so important between Carroll County Public Schools and Carroll County Special Olympics. What ways, for our listening audience, do the school system and Special Olympics partner? I know we have the spring games, and that's such a massive effort. People probably don't realize how much is involved behind that. Maybe you could talk a little bit about our partnership and how we work together to make that happen.
Well, we start in December. I will send out just a save the date to all of the adaptive PE teachers in Carroll County. And then honestly, they do so much to prepare the athletes, really them more than it's us. We, give them a timeline, and they train the athletes, they get the scores to us, and then the day of, the schools get buses and bring a whole a bunch of people from their school, which is really cool. And then if they don't, we will provide a bus and get the kids there that day.
Yeah, I know. I met with a group from Special Olympics after our big spring games this year, and we talked about some ways in which we could work together and improve even more. So we're looking to increase. You talked about the bus transportation and things like that. There are ways that I think we can be even stronger together. And so I appreciated the feedback and the chance for us to look at process improvement for next year, which is just right around the corner.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Right. So let's talk about some of the events lined up for next year. I'm sure there are lots of things in the works. Can you share a couple things that maybe are on the horizon?
Coming up for us, we have a few fundraisers. So we are one of the charities chosen for Fall Fest. And then we host a bingo on November 16th at the Shipley Building at the Ag Center. After that, we from December to April, we put most of our efforts into spring games.
Yeah, a lot of work,
and that's the third week or the third Wednesday in April.
Yeah, very good. Well, Laurie, I really appreciate you giving us a few minutes today to share some of the incredible things happening with Carroll County Special Olympics. We're proud to be a partner and an advocate for Special Olympics here in Carroll County. Appreciate the partnership. Look forward to the events coming up. And like I said, appreciate you giving us a little bit of time and insight today.
Well, we appreciate all the help that Carroll County Public Schools gives us and the support that we get. And I appreciate you giving me the time today.
Absolutely. Once again, our guest has been Laurie Brewer. She's the Area Director and Finance Director for Carroll County Special Olympics. I'm Steve Lockard, Superintendent for Carroll County Public Schools, and this has been Report Card on Education.